Hello, this is Brian with Zimco Survival, and the sun is in my eyes, but I'm going to go ahead and do a review for you guys today, this time of the Bk7. Now, I'm a believer that you should not review items until you've used it, so I bought this a while ago and I've been testing it ever since, and now I can give you an honest review of it. Let me go ahead and show you the knife, and I'll do the sheath first, but this is the knife, okay? Let me go ahead and do the sheath. I hate it. Probably one of the worst sheaths that K-Bar has ever made. Has absolutely no retention. Let me show you. Okay. There it is. There it goes. The only thing holding this knife in is this little snap right here. That's it. Okay. It has this little pocket on the front, which I personally find useless. It's not big enough to do anything of any real use. So, in my opinion, it's a waste of space. It has a second sheath right in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right in that little hole. Now, my honest opinion on the matter, buy a new sheath. Spend the extra money and buy a new sheath, because the knife is phenomenal. Don't ignore the knife because of this piece of crap. Now let me get to the knife. Okay, it's got a 7-inch handle, a 5-inch grip. Yeah, let me restart. It's got a 7-inch blade and a 5-inch grip. The blade thickness is 3/16 of an inch, just short of a 1/4 of an inch, but I don't think this particular blade needs it. The extra little bit of spine thickness. The steel is 1095 high carbon something. It's a high carbon blade. 1095 high carbon, but they mixed a little bit of chromium into the blade, and I believe titanium as well, to make it a little bit easier to sharpen while still maintaining a good edge, and it does exactly that. I haven't had to sharpen this blade since I've gotten it. The outer coating here, I have some mixed feelings about that. My honest opinion, I'm probably going to remove it, because this stuff is a blessing and a curse. It reacts pretty well to a use, but at the same time, it's tacky. I find that it's not as slick as I would like a coating to be, and causes friction when I'm trying to baton this knife, or do fine cuts with it. So my honest opinion is I'm going to remove the coating. I don't like it. It hinders the use of the knife, and in my opinion, that's a bad thing. Granted, it keeps it from rusting. It is very good at that. But as far as making it usable goes, I find that it's very hard to baton through wood or to do any serious work with, because the coating just seems to drag on whatever I'm cutting. The blade itself is a flat grind, aka Scandi grind. It has a 20-degree secondary bevel right here, so I wouldn't call it a true Scandi grind knife, but it is a flat grind. Very easy to sharpen. I have no doubt that you would be able to sharpen this knife in the field with just a simple sharpener. Hell, I'd probably be able to sharpen it on a stone if I needed to. Overall impressions, it is phenomenal. It is a clip point design, so it is good for both a fighting knife. You could take the scales off and possibly turn it into a spear if you were so inclined, and it would work really well. Overall, great design. The thumb ramp right here has got some jibbing on it. Not so aggressive that it hurts your thumb if you put some pressure on the knife, but it is prominent enough that your thumb isn't going to actually slip off. So I think it's really well thought out and well designed. Personally, when I'm using this for fine cuts, I don't like to put my thumb here. I like to put it on the back side right there, so that I have that control to make those really good fine cuts. This knife can do everything, in my opinion. It can go from a small job to a large job, back to a small job, and do everything quite well. Now, some catches to that. This knife is not going to make a spoon or a bowl or anything like that. It's just too large. So I would recommend getting like the Mora Bushcraft Black, or a smaller 4-inch knife that you can use for those really fine tasks like hollowing out wood, because in my opinion this would do a rough job, but it wouldn't be able to actually give you a good finished product. Now, I'm not going to baton this for you guys today because there are plenty of videos of this knife being batoned. I wanted to give you more accurate information about the knife. This knife will baton anything, in my experience, up to about 4 inches thick without too much of a problem. The thicker you get, the harder it becomes, but I have no doubt in my mind that this knife can do it. Anything over 4 inches, and I really wouldn't try to use this knife for it, just because it starts to become very, very difficult. And the edge of this blade, because it is a clip point and it does have that sharpened edge right here, okay, it's not sharp, but they put a bevel on it, makes this point very thin, because it doesn't have that nice thick spine all the way up to the point. So anything larger than about here, and you're gonna have to start smacking that point, and I'm not a fan of that because I am not confident that that point would withstand heavy batoning. Now it very well might. I'm not going to say it won't. I haven't managed to break it yet, but it is a concern for me, and as a survival knife, which is what I purchased this for, I would rather not risk it, because I need this to do most of my tasks. So overall review of this knife, I give it a 5 out of 5. It's an absolute yes for buying it. Absolutely. If you have the money, go ahead and do it. I bought it for $77 on Amazon. I'm going to have a link in the description below of this particular knife so that you guys can take a look at it and maybe buy it yourselves. I'm also going to put a link to the other Bk7 line, or the other BK line. The Bk9, in my opinion, is a chopper only. It is not designed to do any real bushcrafting tasks. It's just too large and too heavy. I believe that it is a phenomenal chopping knife by all means, but as far as a general purpose utility knife for bushcrafting, it's not going to match that criteria. I think this one is a really good knife for that. So if bushcrafting is one of the things that you want to do, definitely pick this up. It's well worth it. The one good thing, now that the actual review is over, I'm going to go ahead and tell you some things about what I like about this. It is such a popular knife that they make a number of custom sheaths for it. You can find them fairly easily. They also make a number of custom scales so that you can pick up and kind of really customize this knife however you want. Plus, with the thickness of the spine and how thick this blade is, I would not be against doing a double acid etch on it, which is probably what I'm going to do when I customize it, because the blade thickness is more than enough to withstand that kind of etching without really degrading its performance. So I really like the design of the knife. It can do pretty much anything I need it to do, and I like the fact that I can customize this thing really easily. When I get done with it, it's probably going to end up costing me, with the knife included, about $350, but it'll be well worth it, and I'll show you guys after I have it all finished. But I wanted to show you the box, out of the box version first, and this is what you're going to get out of the box. Now I put a piece of Titan Survivor cord on the back. It has a really big hole right there so that you can put very large cord through it if you needed to. I don't know why you would put anything bigger than paracord, because as you can see, the paracord just kind of wobbles around in there. But it gives you the option if you want it, and options are always good. So yeah, overall review of the knife, 5 out of 5. most certainly, probably a 6 out of 5, if they had such a rating. Definitely look at buying this knife, well worth it. Like I said, I'm not going to baton it or anything like that in this particular video, because BK7s, there are hundreds of videos of people doing that, and I decided I wanted to do more of a discussion video with you guys today and review the knife and what it can do, rather than trying to copy everyone else on YouTube. So that's it. The Bk7, well worth the money in my opinion, well worth it. Definitely pick one up if you can afford it. As far as bushcrafting knives go, this is a good medium expense knife. In my opinion, it acts as a really expensive custom knife without the expense. So it's not a $20 knife, no. It's about 80 bucks, but it acts like a $200 custom. So, in my opinion, go ahead and buy it, save yourself a whole bunch of money. Get this, deck it out the way you want it to be, and you'll come out at about the same price as the other custom knives. Or if you really like that black tactical look, just keep it the way it is. So, there you go. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much, and please have a great day. Bye-bye.